Good morning. Happy Friday. So what'd you learn? What'd you learn paying attention to your language? What were some of the words that you used on a regular basis? Do you use a lot of words that encourage you and empower you? Or do you say a lot of things like, do you use softening words like, well, maybe it's going to work out and maybe this will happen for me? Or do you say things like, it's not going to work out for me. Things don't work out for me. I'm not lucky. I'm not smart. I'm not this. I'm not that. And what type of words did you use to describe your day? When somebody asks you how you are, do you say, I'm getting by? Or do you say, I'm fantastic? Or do you say, well, I'm above ground? Or do you do that in a good way? Any day above ground's a good day. What words did you use to describe things that you like? You literally can use these things to change how you feel about everything. So let's do an experiment. Take something that you love. Take a food or a television show or a movie. This is really getting exciting here. Or a car, whatever, something. A ride at a amusement park, doesn't matter. Take something that you love. Think about that thing for a second. First of all, when you talk about your experience with that thing, what do you say? What are the words that you use? Do you say you love it? Do you say it's amazing? Do you say it's outstanding? Do you say it's incredible? What word? And there's a feeling associated to that word. So think about that for a second. What's the feeling that you associate with that? Now, think about your experience with that particular thing, whatever it is. That ride or that movie or that song. And think about it for a moment and think about what is the first thing that you see or think of or maybe smell. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of that particular stimulus, that ride, that song, that movie, the thing that you love? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? What do you think of first? And how does that make you feel? And then think of the second thing that you love about it. What comes next? So like it might be that you see something first, and then next there's a song. So like let's say if it's the Rocky movie, maybe the first thing that you see is him running, and then you hear the music. And then maybe you see him doing push-ups. Or if it's a ride, maybe the first thing that you think of as you experience the going down the hill or when you first get in the ride. What are the first things that you think of when that experience happens? Put yourself in the moment. And what is it that you see or you hear or that maybe you smell? If it's a food, maybe it's a meal. And then what's the third thing? So what are the first things that you think of, and how do you describe those? Now, if you get a chance, write this down because this is good stuff. So next, like let's say for me, I could say the movie Rocky, and I would tell you that what I experience is just what you thought. If I think of the movie, I see him running and I hear the beginning of that music at the same time. And then I see him doing the push-ups where he's switching sides and he's doing the one-hand push-ups on the other sides. And then the movies kind of come together. So I might see him chasing the chicken. I might see him running on the beach with Carl Weathers. Okay, but that would be the order. The first thing would be something that I see, and then the next would be hear, and then would be see again. And I would describe it as bright. I would describe it as fast. I would describe it as emotional. I would describe it as loud. And I would describe it as inspiring. So now, get rid of that. Now let's think of something that you don't like. Think of something that you need to do but you don't want to do. Or you can just take something that you should like that you really don't. So like, could be broccoli. It could be exercising. It could be, finishing, making the phone call that you don't want to make. It could be, finishing homework. It could be balancing your checkbook, meal prepping, whatever. Then, with this thing, put yourself in that moment and think about what it is that you hate, what it is that you don't like. And then write down in order what it is that you see or feel or smell. What does it look like? What do you say to yourself? Does it look dark? Does it look ugly? Does it look disgusting? Do you say to yourself, I don't want to do this, I hate doing this? And write down, if you can, what is the process that you go through for doing that? What is it that you think about? Now, take a look at those things. What we've just done is created a way to use language and a little bit of physiology and a little bit of focus to make something that we love and to make something that we hate. So you can now use this on anything in your life. So if you want to change how you feel about something, if you want to take something that you don't like and make it so that you like it, apply the same things to the first thing. So for me, and you literally can apply the exact same thing. So like, let's say I needed to, I'd much rather talk to people than sit down at a computer and create a document or create, something that has to be filed in court. Okay, that's the last thing that I want to do. The first thing that I want to do is talk to people and solve their problems. So I can literally take those things about Rocky and I can use that specific stimulus if I want to, or I can just make it so that the thing that I want to do, I can make it bright and I can make it moving. And I can use words like, when I get done, I'll feel inspired. When I get done, I can do that. And I'll feel differently about that event. Put yourself in that moment. Or the other thing that you can do is you can literally combine the two. So I can imagine looking at the screen and doing this document and seeing that same video and hearing that music at the same time. Look at the document, see the video. Look at the document, see the video. Look at the document, hear the music. And you will then, and use the same things to describe it. Make it bright, make it fast, make it inspirational, make it loud. Because that's what worked for me. And now you will feel completely differently about that event. And if you watched any commercials, this is exactly what commercials do to us. They show us stimulus, and then they show us the product. And they use different ways in order to do that. So for today, because I'm getting close to running out of time. So for today, use these two things and use them in a way that's helpful to you. So take the system that you created for finding something that you love and apply it to something that you shouldn't love. So take a food that you really like and then make it something that you don't like. So take something that you don't want to do, use the application that we did for things that you love, apply that to the thing that you don't want to do, and you're going to want to do it more. Take the thing that makes it so you don't like something, that system, and apply it to something that you love that you shouldn't love. So maybe it's a sweet, maybe it's a chocolate, maybe it's a drink, and you'll feel differently about it. The language, the physiology, and the focus will change everything about how you feel. At the end of the day, we can actually use all this to program ourselves in terms of how we feel about everything. So play around with that today, and then tomorrow we're going to do this even more, and we'll show how to just use physiology to change how you feel about everything that you want to do. So you can make it so that using that physiology and focus, you can take something good and make it better. You can take something bad and make it less. But for today, play around with those. Use your system for something that you love. Apply it to something that you don't want to do, but you need to do, and make it so that it's easier for you to do it. Just apply the same steps. It's the same formula. It's a recipe. Apply that recipe to the thing you don't want to do, and pretty soon you're going to want to do it more. Then take something that you love that you shouldn't love. Take the recipe that you have for what you don't like and apply it to that. And it will program yourself, which is what you're doing. And remember, we're being programmed all the time. So you can either consciously do it for yourself, or you can have other people do it for you. Remember, you can either design your own plan for your life, or you can become part of somebody else's. This is the way to take control and design the own plan for your life. Have a great Friday, everybody. Thanks for watching. It's Friday, and I don't have the heat on, and I have the windows open in November. How great is that? We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.